The idea is not to lecture, but just to start off with some pictures and some maybe initial thoughts about how this came together. Okay, so basically, whether it is algorithmic or not, I think we have had, as the humankind, we have had thought about a lot about how we want to govern ourselves, our societies, and over lots of wars, revolutions, enlightenments, and things like that, we came up with a good set of principles that we really want to reach up to. And we want our governance to be accountable, transparent, inclusive, equitable, efficient, following rule of law, etc., etc. So this is no matter what the tools are, we are keen to get to there. And with governance, my understanding is really very close to strategic decision-making, collecting decision-making processes. So the principles are there, but can we claim that we have achieved it? That I believe everyone would have doubts. We have so much inequality, we have so much injustice in the world. We are making the world, the planet, a really bad place to live in. We have racial inequalities. We still couldn't manage to get close the gender gap. So we cannot really, we have all the principles there as ideals, but we cannot claim as human beings that we have achieved them yet. So we can't, we really need to be, first of all, a bit humble there, I would say. So there, if we look at governance, again, who is governing, who is doing the governance function? Well, we obviously have in democracies, in Western democracies, it's the parliaments. We have got bureaucracies that carry out a lot of things. We have got networks, boards, ethics, interests, etc., etc. So we have quite a big machinery there, working in various ways in different parts of the world. What we are currently experiencing is something interesting. So we have got new ideas coming through. Things like deep learning. So we have got opaque, complex processes now coming into these decision-making processes in, again, complicated ways. And it's not just the machine learning, obviously. When we talk about algorithms, it's the broader algorithm landscape. I have got here peer-to-peer networks as well, distributed ledger. There's a Bitcoin debate. And clearly around that, people have discussed a lot not having a government at all or any central coordination and being able to, possibility of being able to doing things peer-to-peer without that sort of coordination. So there are new ideas in a way. Well, you can't maybe say they're all very new ideas, but now we have tools and means to incorporate these sort of things into our governance processes. So our main concern is that we have things on the right, they are very complex and opaque, and that's why we are worried about incorporating them into our governance processes. But to me, to be fair, really, I don't think that the bit on the left is more open or transparent or less complex or less opaque if we are going to talk about critical decision-making processes. So I think, yes, we have got lots of concerns, but also we need to see the opportunity here as well. So this is when things go wrong. So I believe everyone in the room will remember. This is from 2020, after the exam results, A-level GCSE exam results were announced. We had young people rallying in front of UK Parliament and basically chanting against algorithms overall, although I don't think that it was fully justified, but this is the level of touch that these sort of technologies are having, and this is the level of interest and level of relevance to everyone as well. So again, an attempt to sort of think about different ways we can look into algorithmic governance space. So on the far left, I've got governance through algorithm. So that's supposed to be actually governance as usual, people, institutions, bureaucracies doing the decision making, and we use these tools only to increase speed, precision, and make it more efficient, make things more quick. And I think that's why I said that actually it was unfair on the off-call algorithm before. I think the off-call algorithm really falls into that category. It's there's a basic maybe policy decisions, policy choices that were formulated into, well, here we have got an equation, but it was all essentially policy decisions, policy choices that led to the outcome. There was nothing about algorithms learning and doing things themselves in that situation. On the other end of the spectrum, we have got this algorithms governing us all by themselves, taking decisions, important decisions all by themselves. I think probably the closest thing that we have got is the financial trading algorithms, the high-frequency trading algorithms that we have in the finance system. So algorithms making important decisions without human supervision. Hopefully, if maybe driverless car, the dream is to have driverless cars there doing that job properly, but obviously that's still not something that we have came to. It's the end of the spectrum. And in between, so this is the ideal that we are trying to currently achieve, trying to do good governance decisions, combining human power and algorithm power together in some way. So if we have, well, this is a basic idea, well, one idea of how we could put these human-machine teams in collaboration. But there may be many other ways. That's why it's not a solid line, it's a dotted line, because we don't really know where, what sort of collaborations we can have there, whether it could be a continuous line or whether we can talk about a continuous line of algorithmic agency or human control over these sort of processes. So that's my basically logic that I'm trying to bring into this conversation today here as well as background. We talked about governance through algorithms, governance with algorithms, governance by algorithms, but how about governing algorithms themselves? Because we are having lots of problems with them, and they are actually starting to replicate, amplify the same problems, the same prejudices, same injustices, unfairness into the systems. And now, because they can scale more widely, they are making problem even worse and more fast, maybe discriminating people in very personalized ways that we don't even notice. So we have got whole discussion going around algorithmic fairness, algorithmic accountability, algorithm ethics, transparency, etc. These are all really very, very lively machine learning areas, algorithm research areas as well, but it's a bit messy, as I said, at this stage, and there is no clarity about how this connects to the broader governance decisions in general. So again, the principles are the same, whether it's algorithmic or not. We want more equitable, more fair, more just societies, but we now have new tools, and let's look into what we can do with them, rethink, reimagine really how decision-making could look like in 10 years' time or beyond, maybe for future generations. What sort of theories, methodologies, again, being a bit humble, accepting the fact that we haven't, yes, we have made a lot of thinking, a lot of struggles, we came through a lot of struggles, but it's not, we cannot claim that we have reached optimum as human beings, so it's now time to really think about what we can do with these new tools in the process as well.